At her bachelorette trip, her sister posted, "Last ride before she locks down the boring contractor. Girls gotta live a little." I screen recorded it before she deleted it. Then I canceled the wedding by posting it on our town's Facebook page with, "Wedding's off. She can explain the rest." I'm Wade Carpenter, 34, and I own a small construction company here in Millfield, Texas. Population 35,000, the kind of place where everyone knows your business before you do. 7 months ago, I was about to marry the woman I thought was perfect. Now I'm sitting here wondering how I almost became the biggest fool in town. Melanie Sullivan and I had been together 4 years. She's 29, teaches 3rd grade at Millfield Elementary, volunteers at the church bake sales, the whole 9 yards. Everyone called us the perfect couple. Her family loved me, mine loved her. I'd built us a nice house on Oakwood Drive. Nothing fancy but solid, good foundation, quality materials. Like I thought our relationship was. I pull in about $95,000 a year from the business. Not rich, but comfortable for Millfield. Got 15 guys on the crew, mix of residential and small commercial work. We do good work, fair prices, and people trust us. That reputation matters in a town this size. The wedding was set for September 15th at the historic downtown venue. We'd put down $28,000 total. I covered most of it, about $20,000, because that's what you do. Melanie handled the smaller stuff, flowers and decorations, maybe $8,000. Her parents kicked in some cash too. Big church wedding, 180 people, the works. 2 weeks before the big day, Melanie went to Vegas with her bridesmaids. Bachelorette weekend. I stayed home, had a commercial job to wrap up, and honestly, Vegas isn't my scene. I'm more of a cold beer on the back porch kind of guy. Plus, someone had to mind the business. Friday night, September 1st, I'm at home going through invoices when my phone buzzes. Instagram notification. Melanie's younger sister Jessica had posted a story. Jessica's 26, works at the bank, and when she drinks, her mouth runs like a busted water main. The story was a video. 10 seconds of the girls at some rooftop bar, drinks everywhere, music pounding. Normal Bachelorette stuff. But the caption made my blood freeze. Mel's last ride before she locks down the boring contractor. Girls gotta live a little. I stared at that screen trying to process what I was seeing. The boring contractor. That's all I was to them. Not the guy who'd spent 4 years building something with Melanie. Not the man she claimed to love. Just the boring contractor with steady income and a house. But it got worse. In the background of the video, barely visible but definitely there, was Melanie. She wasn't with the group. She was at a corner table with some guy I'd never seen before. Tall, dark hair, expensive-looking suit. They were sitting close, real close. I screen recorded that story faster than I'd ever moved in my life. Good thing, too, because it disappeared about 30 seconds later. Jessica must have sobered up enough to realize what she'd posted. Sat there staring at my phone, replaying that video. The way Melanie was leaning into this guy. The way he had his hand on her back. The way she was laughing at whatever he was saying. That wasn't the laugh I knew. That was her flirty laugh. The one she used to give me when we first started dating. That comment kept eating at me. Boring contractor. Was that how she really saw me? 4 years of thinking we were building something together. And I was just the reliable guy with the steady paycheck. The safe choice she'd settle for. My first instinct was to call her. Demand answers. But my dad's voice echoed in my head from years ago. Son, when you know the truth, pretending you don't just makes you a fool twice. Dad learned that the hard way when Mom stepped out on him back in '98. I was 16, watching him pretend everything was fine while she worked late 3 nights a week. Instead, I called Brad Coleman. Brad and I went to high school together, and he worked security at the Cosmopolitan in Vegas. If anyone could tell me what was really going on, it was him. Wade, what's up, man? Kinda late for you to be calling. Need a favor, Brad. My fiance is staying at your place this weekend. Melanie Sullivan. Can you check if everything's normal? Long pause. I could hear casino noise in the background. Wade, I've been wondering if I should call you. Saw her name on the register Thursday night. She's been spending a lot of time with some guy from California, investment banker type. They've been together since she checked in. My stomach dropped. Together how? His room. Her keycard's been used to access his floor multiple times. Thursday night, all day Friday, Friday night. I'm sorry, man. Thought maybe you knew. I thanked Brad and hung up. Sat there in my kitchen, looking around at the life I'd built. The house I'd designed for us. Custom cabinets I'd made by hand. The ring I'd saved 8 months to buy. The wedding I'd been excited about for a year. Then I got angry, real angry. The kind of angry that makes you do things you never thought you'd do. I opened my laptop and started typing. Facebook first. Our town has a community page with about 3,000 members. Everyone's on it. Posted around 11:47 p.m. Wedding update. Wade Carpenter and Melanie Sullivan's wedding, scheduled for September 15th at historic downtown venue, has been canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. Thanks to everyone who made plans to celebrate with us. Melanie can explain the rest. Posted it. Then I attached Jessica's video to the post, but I wasn't done. I had a spreadsheet with all 180 wedding guests' phone numbers. Mass text at 11:52 p.m. Wedding canceled. See Facebook community page for details. Sorry for the inconvenience. Wade. Within minutes, my phone started buzzing. Comments popping up on the Facebook post. People trying to call. I turned the ringer off and kept working. Then I started calling vendors. All of them. At midnight on a Friday night, I was leaving voicemails and sending emails. Hi, this is Wade Carpenter. I need to cancel our wedding services for September 15th. Please call me back first thing Monday morning, with final cancellation fees per our contract. Same message to 8 different vendors. Venue, caterer, band, photographer, florist, bartender, cake, DJ. By 2 a.m., I'd sent cancellation notices to everyone. Started calculating the damage based on the contracts. Venue would probably keep the full $6,000 deposit. Caterer had a 50% cancellation clause at this point. $4,200. Photography deposit was $1,500. Band would keep $2,200. Flowers, $900. Other vendors, another $3,200 in the various deposits and fees. Total damage, roughly $15,000. More than half our wedding budget, gone. But as I sat there doing the math, I felt something I hadn't expected. Relief, like a weight lifting off my shoulders. Expensive lesson, but cheaper than a divorce. Cheaper than spending the rest of my life with someone who saw me as a paycheck with a work truck. I poured myself 3 fingers of bourbon and sat on the back porch, watching the sun come up. First time I'd felt peace in months, maybe years. Should have been the worst night of my life, but somehow it wasn't. Saturday morning, September 2nd, my phone exploded. Calls, texts, voicemails, Facebook comments. The community page post had 247 comments by 8 a.m. Some people calling me cruel, others saying I did the right thing. The video had been viewed over 800 times. First voicemail came from Melanie herself, left around 4:15 a.m. Vegas time. Wade, what the hell is wrong with you? That video doesn't mean anything. Jessica was drunk and being stupid. You're destroying my reputation over nothing. Call me back right now. Notice she didn't deny anything, just called it nothing. Her mother called next, Barbara Sullivan. Sweet voice, trying to smooth things over. Wade, honey, you need to take down that post. Melanie's just having fun with her friends. Girls trip, you know how it is. Boys will be boys, girls will be girls. Mrs. Sullivan, I've got hotel footage showing her spending 2 nights in another man's room. This isn't girls trip fun. Long silence. Then the sweet voice disappeared. You're being vindictive. We spent thousands on this wedding. Thousands, Wade. So did I. About 20 grand. Send me a bill if you want. Eddie Ramirez called around noon. My foreman. Been with me 5 years. Boss, saw your post. The guys want you to know we've got your back. Half the town's talking about it already. Most folks seem to think you did right. Thanks, Eddie. Appreciate it. You okay, though? This is heavy stuff. I'm better than I've been in a long time, actually. Good. See you Monday. We'll keep things running smooth while you deal with this mess. Sunday, September 3rd, Reverend Phillips called. He'd been set to perform our ceremony. Wade, I saw your post. I want you to know I support your decision. Marriage is sacred, and trust is the foundation. You showed integrity by not going through with a ceremony built on deception. That meant something. Reverend Phillips is respected by everyone in town. If he was on my side, others would follow. Thank you, Reverend. That means a lot. Have you spoken to Melanie since this happened? No, sir. Nothing to say. Probably wise. Let things settle. But Wade, don't let bitterness take root. You did the right thing. Now, move forward with a clear conscience. Monday morning, September 4th, the vendors started calling back. Most were professional about it. The venue manager, Mrs. Rodriguez, was actually sympathetic. Mr. Carpenter, I saw your Facebook post. I'm sorry this happened to you. Our policy is to keep the full deposit at this point, but I'm only going to charge you half. You've been through enough. Save me $3,000 right there. Small victory, but I'd take it. The caterer tried to fight me on the 50% clause, claimed I owed the full amount since they had already ordered food. Sir, according to our contract, cancellations with less than 30 days' notice result in forfeiture of 50% of total costs, not 100%. But we've already purchased ingredients based on your head count. Then you'll make a profit serving someone else, 50% as contracted, or I'll see you in court with my lawyer. They backed down, $4,200 instead of $8,400. By Tuesday, September 5th, Melanie was back in town. Heard she'd cut her trip short, flew home Sunday night. I was at the job site when she showed up at my house around lunch. Watched the whole thing through my doorbell camera from my phone. She looked rough, no makeup, hair pulled back, wearing sweats. Started knocking, then pounding when I didn't answer. Wade, I know you're there. We need to talk. Open this door right now. I used the intercom system. Nothing to discuss. We're done. You can't just throw away 4 years like this. You can't destroy my reputation over one mistake. There it was. One mistake, not misunderstanding, not joke, mistake. One mistake that lasted 2 nights, Melanie. It wasn't supposed to happen. I was drunk, he was charming, and I made a stupid decision. People make mistakes, Wade. You're supposed to fight for us. I'm supposed to marry someone who respects me. That's not you. She broke down crying then. Big, dramatic sobs. I love you. It didn't mean anything. He was just some random guy at the bar. It's over. It was nothing. If it was nothing, you wouldn't have lied about it. If it was nothing, you wouldn't have spent 2 nights with him. Please, Wade. Please just talk to me face to face, like adults. I can explain everything. Already heard everything I need to hear. Leave my property. I'm not leaving until you open this door and talk to me like a man. That's when I called the police. Millfield PD showed up about 20 minutes later. Officer Martinez, good guy I'd done some work for. What's the situation, Wade? My ex-fiancée won't leave my property. I've told her multiple times we're done and asked her to leave. She's refusing. He talked to Melanie first. Couldn't hear the conversation, but lots of gesturing and pointing at my door. Then he came up to talk to me. She says y'all are engaged, just had a fight. We're engaged, past tense. I ended it Saturday after finding out she cheated. Told her multiple times not to contact me. Can you show me where you told her that? Pulled up the intercom conversation recording on my phone. He listened and nodded. Clear enough? Ma'am, he called over to Melanie. He's asked you to leave his property. You need to go. If you come back without his permission, he can file for a restraining order. We were living together. I have rights. Property records show this house is solely in his name. You need to leave now. She finally left, but not before screaming that I'd regret this. That no decent woman would want a man who aired his dirty laundry in public. Officer Martinez walked back over. She seemed pretty upset. She cheated on me in Vegas. I canceled our wedding. Now she's mad about the consequences. Tough situation? You did the right thing calling us instead of escalating it yourself. That afternoon, I got a text from Andy Foster, my lawyer buddy from high school. Saw your post, man. Sorry this happened. You handled it right. Let me know if you need anything legal-wise. Wednesday morning brought the first lawyer letter. Barbara Sullivan had hired someone. Formal demand letter on fancy letterhead. They wanted $18,000 in reimbursement for all wedding expenses incurred in good faith. Listed everything. Her dress, alterations, jewelry, shoes, hair trials, makeup trials, bridesmaids' gifts, bachelorette party, bridal shower, invitations, decorations, favors. Claimed I'd fraudulently induced expenses and caused severe emotional distress through public defamation. I forwarded it to Andy Foster. He called back an hour later, laughing. Wade, this is the funniest demand letter I've read all month. Are they serious? Dead serious. They've got nothing. Infidelity is absolutely grounds for ending an engagement. You had cause. What do you want me to do? Tell them to kick rocks in fancy legal language. My pleasure. Pro bono because this is entertaining. Keep that hotel evidence, though, and document every time she contacts you after you told her to stop. Thursday, September 7th. Melanie's father showed up at my office. Security called from downstairs. Mr. Carpenter, there's someone here demanding to see you. Says he's your father-in-law, getting pretty loud. Ex-fiance's dad. Tell him I'm unavailable. He's refusing to leave. You want us to call the police? Give me 5 minutes, I'll come down. Found him in the lobby, red-faced and pacing. Soon as he saw me, he started yelling. There you are. Too much of a coward to face me directly. Had to humiliate my daughter in front of the whole town. Mr. Sullivan, there's nothing to discuss. We're done. You humiliated my entire family. My wife can't show her face at church. My daughter's on medication because of you. That's unfortunate. Your daughter made her choice in Vegas. We spent thousands on that wedding. Thousands. Your lawyer sent a demand letter. Mine responded. Sue me if you want. You'll lose. Security stepped in before he could respond. Sir, you need to leave now or we're calling the police. He left but shouted back, This isn't over, Carpenter. By Friday, September 8th, word had spread through town like wildfire. The Facebook post had over 500 comments and 1,200 shares. Someone had screenshot it and posted it on the Millfield Community Watch Group, the Church Ladies Facebook page, and the high school alumni group. Eddie came by the office with updates from the crew. Boss, you're the talk of every job site in town. Most guys are saying you did right. A few think you should have handled it private, but majority's on your side. Good to know. How's the Jenkins project coming? On schedule, but Wade, you might want to know, Melanie's been calling around town, trying to get people on her side, saying you overreacted, that it was just a misunderstanding. Let her talk. People can make their own decisions. Mrs. Rodriguez from the venue called too. Says 3 other couples have reached out asking if their deposits are safe after seeing what happened to yours. That made me feel a little bad. Didn't want to hurt other people's business, but they'd understand once they heard the whole story. 2 weeks later, September 21st, what would have been our wedding day, Andy called with news. They filed suit, small claims court, maximum $10,000 instead of the $18,000 they demanded. For what exactly? Wedding expenses, dress, mother's outfit, bridesmaid stuff, bachelorette party, invitations. Smart to keep it under the small claims limit. No lawyers required. Can they actually win? Hell no. You had cause to cancel, but you have to show up and defend yourself. Bring everything. The video, Brad's statement, hotel records, all of it. When? November 15th. Don't worry, I'm coming with you anyway. This is better than cable TV. October passed quietly. Business was actually picking up. Word around town was that I was a stand-up guy who did what needed doing. Got 2 new contracts from people who specifically mentioned they respected how I'd handled the situation. Melanie had moved out of her apartment, back in with her parents. Heard through the grapevine she was seeing someone new. Teacher from the high school, taking it slow, apparently. November 15th arrived, court day. Her whole family showed up like it was a funeral. Parents, Jessica, grandmother, couple aunts and uncles. They sat on one side of the courtroom, like a wall of disapproval. I sat with Andy on the other side. Judge Hamilton called our case. Her father stood up as their representative. Your Honor, we're seeking $10,000 in damages from the defendant who canceled his wedding with less than 2 weeks' notice, causing our family significant financial loss. Mr. Sullivan, why did he cancel the wedding? Her father hesitated. There was a personal disagreement, a misunderstanding that got blown out of proportion. What kind of misunderstanding? Your Honor, I don't think my daughter's private life should be aired in open court. Judge Hamilton looked irritated. Sir, I'm asking why a wedding was canceled. That's directly relevant to your claim. Andy stood up. Your Honor, my client discovered through social media that his fiancée had been unfaithful during her Bachelorette trip to Las Vegas. We have evidence. He handed over the printed video screenshots, Brad's written statement about the hotel keycard records, and a timeline Andy had prepared showing Melanie's activities Thursday and Friday nights. Judge Hamilton reviewed everything carefully. Took about 5 minutes, reading every page. Mr. Sullivan, your daughter was unfaithful? That post was a joke, a drunk bridesmaid making a stupid comment. The hotel records show she accessed another man's room multiple times over 2 nights. This supports the social media evidence. She was drunk. People make mistakes when they drink. So, you're confirming your daughter was unfaithful, but arguing the defendant should have married her anyway. Long silence. You could hear the air conditioning humming. He didn't have to humiliate our entire family by posting it publicly. If your daughter didn't want people to know about her behavior, she shouldn't have engaged in it. The defendant had every right to cancel a wedding upon discovering infidelity. Case dismissed. Your Honor, we spent... Case dismissed. Next case. Outside the courthouse, Barbara Sullivan cornered me in the parking lot while Andy was loading his briefcase. I hope you're satisfied, Wade. Are you happy now? Pretty much, yeah. She's on antidepressants because of what you did. Had to take a leave of absence from school. You've ruined her entire future. She ruined her own future, Mrs. Sullivan. I just refuse to let her ruin mine too. Over one mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. You're supposed to be the bigger person. I am being the bigger person. I'm letting her keep all the shower gifts, everything else. The ring, that's staying with me. I'm not countersuing for the harassment your family put me through. I'm just walking away. Jessica got in my face then. You're going to regret this, Wade. No decent woman will ever want you after this. Everyone knows you're vindictive now. Andy actually laughed out loud. Lady, he's gotten about 30 messages from women saying they respect a guy with standards. I think he'll be fine. That wasn't entirely accurate, but I wasn't correcting him in front of them. We left. Her family stood there in the courthouse parking lot, looking like they were planning their next move. But there wasn't going to be a next move. It was over. December came and went, quietly. Christmas was weird. First one in 5 years without Melanie's family traditions. But peaceful. I spent it with my parents, helped my dad fix his back deck, watched football, ate too much. Simple. By January, the town had mostly moved on to other gossip. Melanie was dating that high school teacher, guy named Kevin something. Heard they were taking it slow, which was probably smart, given everything that had happened. My business kept growing. Eddie brought in a big residential project in February. Custom home worth $180,000 in labor. Client specifically mentioned he'd heard good things about my character and reliability. Funny how that worked out. Spring arrived early that year. March was warm, perfect weather for outdoor work. I was putting in longer days, keeping busy, not thinking too much about dating or relationships. Figured I'd been through enough drama for a while. Then I met Diana Hayes, church barbecue in late April, annual spring fundraiser for the youth group. I was helping set up tables when Reverend Phillips introduced us. Wade, I'd like you to meet Diana Hayes. Diana, this is Wade Carpenter, the contractor I was telling you about. She was different right away. Quiet confidence instead of flashy charm. Brown hair, green eyes, wearing jeans and a simple blue sweater. No makeup, didn't need it. Nice to meet you, Wade. Reverend Phillips says you do excellent work. I try to. You new in town? Been here about a year. I'm a nurse at County General. Moved here from Austin when I got divorced. Direct. Honest. I like that. We ended up talking for 2 hours. Found out she had a 10-year-old daughter named Sophie. Her ex-husband had moved to California for work and basically disappeared from their lives. She was rebuilding, same as me. So, you're the guy with the famous Facebook post, she said eventually. Yeah, that's me. Probably not the best first impression. Actually, it is. Shows you have standards. Shows you won't be treated like a doormat. I asked her out that night. Coffee first, then dinner the following week. Sophie came along for our third date. Miniature golf and ice cream. Smart kid, asked good questions about construction work. Wanted to know if I'd ever built anything famous. Not famous exactly, but I built the new playground equipment at your school. Her eyes went wide. You built the jungle gym? That's so cool. Mom, he built the jungle gym. Diana smiled, watching her daughter's excitement. Looks like you've got a fan. Things developed naturally from there. No drama, no games, no wondering what she really thought about anything. Diana said what she meant and meant what she said. Revolutionary concept after 4 years with Melanie. By summer, we were spending most weekends together. Sophie would help me with small projects around my house. Painting, organizing tools, simple repairs. Diana said it was good for her to see a man who worked with his hands, built things that lasted. August, almost a year after the Vegas incident, I ran into Melanie at the grocery store. Made eye contact for about 2 seconds. She looked away. First, heard through mutual friends she'd gotten engaged again to that teacher. Quick engagement, 7 months of dating. Good luck to them. September 15th came around. What would have been our first anniversary if I'd been stupid enough to go through with it? Diana and I were at the lake with Sophie, teaching her to fish. Perfect way to spend the day that could have been the worst mistake of my life. You ever think about what would have happened if you'd married her? Diana asked, while Sophie was down at the water's edge. Sometimes, nothing good. Would have found out eventually, probably after kids were involved. This way was cleaner. Harder though, what you did took guts. Or stupidity. Still not sure which. Guts, she said firmly. Stupidity would have been pretending it didn't happen. October brought our first real test. Diana's ex-husband showed up unannounced, wanting to reconnect with Sophie. Turned out he was having problems with his new girlfriend and thought maybe family life looked appealing again. Diana handled it perfectly. Calm, direct, protective of Sophie without being dramatic about it. Told him he could see his daughter, but it would be supervised visits on her schedule, not his convenience. You don't get to disappear for a year and waltz back in when your life gets complicated, she told him. Watching her handle that situation, protecting Sophie while staying rational and fair, I knew this was different. This was real. November, I asked Diana to marry me. Nothing fancy, just the 3 of us at home making dinner together. Sophie was showing me her math homework when I pulled out the ring. Diana, I love you. I love Sophie. I want us to be a family. Will you marry me? She cried a little, said yes, and Sophie asked if she could call me Dad now. Let's start with Mr. Wade and see how it goes. Okay, Dad Wade, close enough. We're planning a small ceremony next spring. Justice of the peace, maybe 20 people. Backyard reception. Sophie's designing her own flower girl dress and insisting on helping with decorations. The Facebook post is still up. Gets a comment every few months. Most justified cancellation ever, and this man saved himself from disaster. My favorite is still the one that says, this isn't revenge, this is self-defense. That pretty much sums it up. Lost $15,000 in deposits and cancellation fees, but gained something worth infinitely more. Self-respect, a woman who actually loves me for who I am, and a daughter who thinks I hung the moon because I built her jungle gym. Diana's never given me a reason to doubt her. When she says she's somewhere, she's there. When she says she loves me, I believe her. When she promises something, she follows through. Revolutionary concept. Sometimes I see Melanie around town, usually at a distance, sometimes at the same store or restaurant. We nod politely, keep moving. No drama, no hard feelings anymore. She made her choice, I made mine. Water under the bridge. Business is better than ever. Got a reputation now as a man who stands up for himself, keeps his word, builds things to last. Turns out integrity is good for marketing. The engagement ring I bought Melanie, still have it tucked away in my safe. Insurance policy, I guess. Reminder of what happens when you ignore red flags and trust the wrong person. But mostly I don't think about it anymore. Too busy building something real with people who actually want to be here.